What's going on, guys? This is Rob. If you guys enjoy my content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that little bell so you never miss out on my sexy voice. You go 3 months without making a video on how to kill superheroes, and suddenly everybody decides they want to steal the idea for my video series. Oh, Comics Explained is often imitated, never duplicated. What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and with Avengers Infinity War hitting theaters soon, I figured a lot of you guys would be looking for Thanos-related content, because who wouldn't? And since he's probably, well, I wouldn't say probably, since he is like one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe, I thought now would be a great time to figure out how we can kill him. Plus, people have been asking me in the comment section to make a video about this. So, I'm sure we're gonna see Thanos die in the movies. It won't be in Infinity War. That'd be the most anticlimactic thing ever. It'll likely happen in Avengers 4. But today, we're gonna cover Thanos as he exists in the actual comics of Marvel. So, for those of you guys who are not familiar with Thanos, or perhaps you're just looking about stuff for Infinity War, and you stumbled across this channel for the first time, Thanos was created in 1973 by Jim Starlin and originally appeared in Iron Man number 55. Now, later on, it was revealed that his origin was on the moon Titan, which orbits Saturn, and his parents belonged to a race called the Eternals, a race of aliens that have a variety of superpowers like superhuman strength and telepathy and flight and energy blasts and immunity to disease and poison and so on and so forth. They can't get tired. Basically, they're humans that, had their genes meddled with by the Celestials, but they're basically really, really powerful. The other thing is they're almost nearly invulnerable and can regenerate damage to their bodies. And all of this is due to the fact that they're able to exert mental control over themselves. So while the hold is strong, it basically can be broken. However, when Thanos was born, it was discovered that he was actually a hybrid of an Eternal and their cousin race, the Deviants. Now, like the Eternals, the Deviants were created by the Celestials, but unlike the Eternals, they have a hideous appearance. Furthermore, the Deviants and Eternals are more often than not at war with one another almost all the time. So they're basically like people who like the Jedi or the Sith. Nobody ever likes both. Now, because of his deviant appearance, Thanos' mother attempted to kill him shortly after his birth, but was unsuccessful. Now, initially being a peace-loving child, Thanos eventually became infatuated with and even began to worship Mistress Death, who's literally the embodiment of death in the comics. The problem here is that Thanos was friend-zoned, but the whole idea was that he basically sought to cause as much death as he possibly could, and to that end used his vast scientific knowledge to bolster his powers and sought out some of the most powerful artifacts in the Marvel Universe, namely the Cosmic Cube and the Infinity Gems. Now, the question we have to ask here is, how powerful is Thanos? Well, in terms of strength, he has proven strong enough to punch the Hulk hard enough to send him flying through a village. He's knocked Ronan the Accuser out with 2 punches and the Super Skrull with 1 because Super Skrull sucks, and he was able to break out of an energy construct created by Nebula wielding the Infinity Gauntlet. Now, Thanos is also extremely durable, and he survived energy blasts from the Silver Surfer with no ill effects, is unharmed by Ronan the Accuser's universal weapon, has withstood multiple blows from Thor's hammer Mjolnir, an energy blast from Odin, and 3 of Black Bolt's screams, which usually destroy anyone who hears them. Now, in addition to his strength and durability, Thanos is extremely intelligent. He can generate a force field durable enough to protect him from the Silver Surfer wielding the power cosmic and emit energy beams from his eyes, powerful enough to knock Galactus off his feet. So with all that in mind, it's not hard to see why killing Thanos is such a formidable task, since he has survived battles with some of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe. But that leads us to the question of, can he be killed? Well, fortunately for us, the answer to that question is a resounding yes. In fact, there are multiple instances where Thanos has either died or come incredibly close to dying. During the Brian Michael Bendis era of Guardians of the Galaxy, the book flashes back to the events of the Thanos Imperative, when Thanos was trapped in the Cancerverse, which is an alternate universe where death has no effect because she was dead, and where every living thing has basically been corrupted by a race known as the Many-Angled Ones. That's what Shumagorath is. If you don't know who he is, don't worry about it. If you do, yes. Now, what we end up finding out is that Star-Lord, who along with Richard Rider has also been trapped in the Cancerverse, basically wields a cosmic cube against Thanos, who yells that if Star-Lord continues to wield a weapon that is powerful beyond his control, that they will all basically die. Now, obviously, Thanos doesn't die since no one can die in the Cancerverse, but the fact that he believed he would die lets us know that the Cosmic Cube is capable of killing Thanos under normal circumstances, or at the very least, Thanos thinks it is. The only other option of this is that Thanos believed the Cosmic Cube would just wipe them from existence, which is probably the most likely scenario. But another instance where we see Thanos almost die occurred quite recently during Jeff Lemire's run on the Thanos solo title, where he was infected by the God Cancer, which is essentially a terminal illness that was causing Thanos' Thanos' body to consume itself by the very woman that he worshipped, who of course was Mistress Death. Now eventually, Thanos was able to rid himself of the disease by completing the trial of the God Court, which is a realm that houses the souls of dead gods, which granted him enough power to battle his son Thane, who was in possession of the Phoenix Force. But there have been times that Thanos has actually died. During 2015's Secret Wars by Jonathan Hickman, Thanos was killed when Dr. Doom simply reached inside his chest and pulled out a skeleton without any difficulty. Now it's important to note that at this point, Doom was in possession of the power of the Beyonders, which are basically this omnipotent, ridiculously OP race of beings from the Beyondverse. They were powerful enough to wipe out all the cosmic entities, including the Living Tribunal. So like, they were pretty powerful. Like, they were really strong. But the comics even demonstrate that you don't have to have one of the most powerful artifacts in the universe or the power of a god to kill Thanos. As in the 2006 Annihilation event, we actually see Thanos die at the hands of Drax the Destroyer after Drax literally rips Thanos' heart out of his chest. Now it seems like that shouldn't have worked, but you have to remember that in the comics, Drax was formerly a normal human named Arthur Douglas, whose soul was placed in a superhuman body designed specifically for killing Thanos. That's literally the reason Drax exists. So I don't know if there's something about Drax that just allows him to be able to rip out Thanos' heart, but like, it did happen. Now I would argue because Drax was designed for the purpose of killing Thanos, he's got superhuman strength and speed and so on and so forth. I mean, it'd be kind of useless to make a character who was designed to kill another character if they couldn't actually kill him. So like, that makes sense to me. It's reasonable to me. But of course, Thanos did not stay dead in that story, as he was placed in a cocoon by Adam Warlock and eventually resurrected by the Universal Church of Truth, who believed the cocoon contained the savior, Adam Warlock, and opened the cocoon to release Thanos. Basically that happened, and then they were just like, oh, yeah, so like, we done goofed. So yeah, like Thanos can be killed. Now it could have happened several times throughout his history, but something is always there to either keep him from dying or to resurrect him. If the Cosmic Cube had been used against him in the main Marvel universe instead of the Cancerverse, then he probably would have died. If he hadn't made it to the God Quarry, the God Cancer given to him by Mistress Death probably would have killed him. If he hadn't been placed in a restorative cocoon and resurrected, he probably would have remained dead after dying at the hands of Drax. Now, if Marvel hadn't restored the universe to its previous form after Secret Wars, he'd still be dead after he was killed by Dr. Doom, at least until Marvel found another way to bring him back. But there are a couple caveats to this. Something to bear in mind is that Thanos, if I remember correctly, was banished from the realm of Mistress Death. And there is also the idea that because of the fact he was banished from Mistress Death, when he died, quote unquote, at the hands of Dr. Doom, he just ended up in a realm of nothingness. There was just absolutely nothing there. How that realm exists, we don't know, because Marvel never bothers to explain, because Brian Michael Bendis used it as an excuse to bring him back during Civil War II. Bendis is a great writer, but sometimes he is lazy. But the question we have to ask is there an in-storyline way that we can think to basically keep Thanos dead? If we take our pick of ways to kill him, that's not really the challenge. I mean, how can we keep him dead? Like, that's the real big answer here. And I think the answer lies with Thanos' greatest desire, Mistress Death. Thanos' entire quest for the Cosmic Cube and the Infinity Gems, his desire to kill as many people as possible and to acquire as much power as possible, has all been motivated by his desire for the approval of Mistress Death. It has always eluded him, so he continues to press on, leaving more and more destruction in his wake. But what if he was able to gain her approval? Well, he'd have no reason to continue on. He would probably have no reason to come back to life. If he can be convinced that the only way to gain Death's approval is to not give her the souls of millions or even billions, but to make the ultimate sacrifice, which is his own life, then I think we solve the problem of keeping him dead. I mean, in order to kill Thanos permanently, I think we not only have to convince him that his death is the only thing that will satisfy Mistress Death, but I think it would be possible to do that because even though Thanos is highly intelligent, his intellect is far surpassed by his ego. So I can only really see him buying into the idea that his soul is so special, so far superior to all others, that it would be the only offering that would satisfy Mistress Death. Having said that, what people really want to know is, how could we just beat him to death? Like, is it possible to like beat Thanos to death? Really? Probably not. Like I would say probably not. I mean, here's the thing you gotta keep in mind. Thanos has basically gone toe to toe against like Earth's most powerful characters. The only individuals out there who could probably kill Thanos who are Earth-based, I guess Arthur Douglas, if you consider him, because he was born on Earth and then resurrected as Drax the Destroyer. But I would say like a reality warper most likely would be the only person to do it. The Incredible Hulk wouldn't be able to do it. But it's kind of interesting there because in the story Thanos versus the Hulk, you ended up having a scenario where Jim Starlin wrote a line where Thanos basically said that like he's routinely avoided fighting the Incredible Hulk because of the power the Incredible Hulk has. Now, people will like infer that to mean that like, well, the Incredible Hulk can beat him. The Incredible Hulk can't beat him because we've never seen it happen. So, I don't know if that would actually take take place or not. I mean, they fought in like the Mindscape. It was like the most clickbait story ever, and people were upset about it, the fact that it was so clickbait. But like, it would take an exceedingly powerful character on Earth, probably a reality warper, or like one of the most powerful of the fighters. Like the Void could probably do it. Blue Marvel, maybe, but I don't think he could, because he was one of the many people who fought against Thanos in the events leading up to Civil War II, and he couldn't defeat Thanos on his own. Carol Danvers definitely can't do it. Like, he's just that powerful. Like, I mean, it would take a universe level threat to be able to like fight Thanos to a standstill and successfully defeat him. Like, it would be pretty difficult to do. But with that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this video to an end. If you are new here to Comics Explained, make sure you guys hit the sub button to become part of the Rob Corps. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, and yeah, I will catch you all later. Peace.